Have you ever been told that your dream is stupid? That your ideas are useless? That you're not good enough? Imagine being fired from your job because your boss says you have no imagination. Now, imagine that same person later, creating the most magical empire the world has ever seen. This is the story of a man who was rejected, laughed at, crushed by debt, betrayed by partners, and told again and again that he would never succeed. Yet he became the architect of dreams. This is the unbelievable journey of Walt Disney, the man who turned failure into fantasy, pain into imagination, and dreams into reality. Walt Disney wasn't born into privilege or opportunity. He wasn't the son of a rich businessman or a Hollywood insider or someone who had a powerful mentor guiding him. He was born into a poor family in Chicago in 1901. His parents struggled so much that sometimes even food was limited. As a child, Walt would deliver newspapers before sunrise, walking for miles in the freezing cold. By the time he reached school, he was already exhausted. But every single free moment he had, he would draw. He didn't have expensive pencils or sketchbooks. He used the thin leftover pieces of paper his father brought home. Everyone around him thought drawing was a waste of time. Everyone except Walt. Growing up, Walt's father was strict and often harsh. He didn't believe art could feed a family. He always told Walt to stop wasting time and do something real. But Walt knew something nobody else could see. That imagination wasn't weakness, it was power. And even though nobody understood him, he held on to that belief. When Walt became a teenager, he got his first job as an artist at a local newspaper. He thought this was the beginning of his dream. But soon after, something happened that would destroy most people's confidence forever. He was fired. And the reason? His editor said Walt Disney lacked imagination. Imagine being told you're not good at the only thing you love. But Walt didn't give up. He didn't argue. He didn't quit dreaming. He simply decided that one day he would prove them wrong. He started a small animation studio with his brother Roy. They worked day and night, creating short cartoons. But Walt wasn't experienced in business. He trusted the wrong people. A distributor cheated him, stole his work, and bankrupted his studio. Everything he had worked for disappeared. Walt had nothing left but a few drawings and a broken heart. He boarded a train to California, wondering if his dream was worth it anymore. But on that train ride, something magical happened. Walt began sketching a little mouse, a character with big round ears, bright curious eyes, and a cheerful smile. A character full of hope, something Walt desperately needed. That mouse would become the most iconic animated character in the world. Mickey Mouse. But even Mickey didn't find success quickly. Walt took his idea to different studios in Hollywood, but almost every door slammed shut. People laughed at him. Some said cartoons could never be successful. Others said audience attention spans were too short. One producer even told him, "Nobody wants to watch drawings. They want real actors." But Walt didn't stop. He kept pushing. He kept dreaming. He kept believing. And he finally convinced one studio to take a chance. That chance changed everything. In 1928, Mickey Mouse made his debut in Steamboat Willie, the first cartoon with synchronized sound. When audiences heard Mickey's cheerful whistle, the theater exploded with excitement. Suddenly, everyone knew Disney. Everyone wanted more. Walt Disney had proved that imagination could create miracles. Success began growing, but challenges didn't stop. Walt wanted to go bigger. He wanted to make the world's first full-length animated movie, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Hollywood thought he had gone insane. They called it Disney's Folly, predicting it would bankrupt him permanently. Even some of his own staff doubted him. But Walt didn't back down. He poured every dollar he had into the project, worked through sleepless nights, and risked everything for a dream only he could see. And then Snow White released. And it didn't just succeed, it became the highest-grossing film of its time. Walt Disney became the new king of animation. He built new studios, created more characters: Donald Duck, Goofy, Pluto, Cinderella, Bambi, Pinocchio. The list went on and on. But Walt wanted something bigger than movies. He wanted a place where families could go together. A world of happiness, magic, and wonder. A place he would call Disneyland. Banks rejected the idea. Investors laughed at him. Experts said theme parks were dying. But Walt ignored them all. He sold his own house, borrowed money, and pursued the dream anyway. When Disneyland finally opened in 1955, it became an instant global sensation. Millions of visitors came from around the world. Walt Disney had created not just a theme park, but a new world. But behind all the magic and success, Walt still faced constant pressure. Projects failed. Rides broke. Money problems never truly went away. Even his health began failing. But Walt kept going because he believed his mission was bigger than him. He wanted to remind the world that dreams matter. Imagination matters. Hope matters. Walt once said, "All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them." And he lived those words until the very end. Walt Disney died in 1966, but his legacy never did. His company today is one of the largest entertainment empires in the world. His films inspire billions. His parks bring joy to millions every year. His characters are loved across generations. And Mickey Mouse, the character he created when he had nothing, stands as a symbol of endless possibility. This is the journey of a poor boy who failed again and again, but never stopped dreaming. A man who was fired for having no imagination, yet became the greatest imagination the world has ever known. A man who showed that success doesn't come from talent alone. It comes from belief, courage, persistence, and an unshakable refusal to give up. So whenever someone tells you your dream is impossible, remember Walt Disney. Whenever someone makes fun of your ideas, remember Walt Disney. Whenever you fail and feel like giving up, remember Walt Disney. Because he proved one truth that every dreamer needs to know. It doesn't matter where you start. It matters how hard you're willing to chase the dream that sets your soul on fire.